Hello, and welcome to our Werewolf the Apocalypse game, Rage Across Vancouver. As a warning, this is a mature game and explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, drug use, and many others. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. They will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow and red cards in our private Zoom chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Our streams are always going to be available on YouTube after the game, so you can always come back to an episode if you feel ready, or skip ahead to the next one. And now it's time to thank our sponsors. So thank you to our sponsor, Mikhail Artoria of Artoria Designs, who creates these beautiful dice boxes. You can visit him on Instagram and he can make some dice boxes for you. I have like literally every type of dice in here right now. Like it's just a smattering of everything, but I don't have the werewolf dice yet. Those are coming in. So yeah, I will visit him on Instagram. I'll put the link in the chat. Illuminagents. Illuminagents is a comedy web series that weaves real conspiracy theories into its sci-fi short-form episodes. It's shot in Toronto, and this indie production will leave you laughing and questioning reality at the same time. You can watch Season 1, which includes the musical finale episode, for free on Sika.tv. And Season 1 also includes this guy right here, and I think I'm also in Season 2 a little bit, but Season 2 is currently being filmed, if I recall correctly. Orc Style. Orc Style is an adults-only fantasy fetish fashion brand for all of you orc-loving monster huggers out there. Orc Style shirts, underwear, and accessories are sure to drop your intelligence and increase your confidence by 10 points. They also have just released their Chompers Orc Tusks. Chompers are perfect for cosplay, roleplay, and streaming. Orc Style's expert tusk enchanters infuse the spirits of great orcs, trolls, ogres, and goblins into magical tusks that will transform the common human into a fierce monster. And Martlet Games. Martlet Games is a collective of ttrpg veterans ready to work for you, from tabletop RPG development to actual play production. They've contributed to various Storyteller Vault titles and sponsor channels like this one to keep the world of darkness a haven for those with stories to tell. You can visit their link in the chat to explore their world, and they can help you create yours. And Demiplane. DemiplaneRPG is an amazing resource. If you want to keep all of your books all in one spot, they've got Hunter up there right now. They've got Vampire up, and I believe Werewolf is coming soon, from what I hear on the back end from folks that are whispering stuff in my ear. They also have the Vampire Character Builder, which is absolutely amazing. Everything is all set up for you. It leads you on the way to making your own character. If you want, check out the video that I posted where I made Bob the Bruja. It's actually an amazing resource. So, having said all that, it's time to introduce the werewolves. I almost said vampires right there, but we've switched it up this time. Let's start up here in a different position, and I know Michaela is like, what? No, not me. No, it's not you. You're going last this time.
Wow.
The overlay's switched. Starting up here is Monica.
I'm first. Hi, everybody. I'm Monica, and I'm playing Violet today. Violet is a Gale Stalker.
And over here is Alan.
Hello, hey, what up? Gang. My name is Alan, and I am playing young Ship, who is a heart warden Aurun rapper. I can't wait to figure out what all those words mean. I know what one of those words means. So we'll see.
And up above me is Joanna.
Hey, I'm Joanna, and I'm going to be playing Millie James today, who is your glasswalker Ragabash, who has fun doing her job at the Science World, and is ready to play some werewolf.
Slight correction.
I'm ready to play werewolf. She's already a werewolf.
There it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, aren't we all just a part of the game of life? I'll stop. I'm sorry.
Life is the werewolves that we made along the way.
Love the way, yes.
The entire mini series is just a bunch of werewolves sitting around playing a role playing game of werewolves. We're just gonna go like super
Great.
meta on it.
So great.
And joining our table for this particular game is over here, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick Gill, and I will be playing Martin's story, The Heart Warden Philodox. Could be an interesting change of pace for me here.
We got a couple of heart wardens, and over here, last but certainly not least, is Michaela.
Hi, I am Michaela. I will be playing Haruko tonight, your very volatile Black Fury who might be a bitch.
You don't say.
I know, it's
Oh.
very different for me.
Listen, in the history of Werewolf, the Apocalypse, I have not seen one Black Fury that's been a bitch.
I know, I'm very
That's my official
unique.
story, and I'm sticking to it. So, Vancouver in the World of Darkness is a place of long shadows. Everything seems a bit more drab, more dark. There's not as much hope as there is in our regular world. Which isn't really saying much. But in the World of Darkness, there's vampires, which you've already seen from the other series that the players are involved in. And this is taking place in the same, I won't say area just yet, unless we accidentally end up at the Black Star. But it is the same Vancouver that takes place in that series. You've all gotten a summons, a request to show up at the Great Cairn. From what you've all heard, there was recently a battle that occurred. The forces of the Worm. Sorry, it's Dark Star, right? Black Star is the David Bowie record.
Not to be confused.
I mean, David Bowie's
Both are
technically a
pretty
Toreador
cool.
anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Heck yeah.
Is that canon? Is it?
It is now.
It is now. Yes.
So you've all been summoned to the Great Cairn. There was a battle there recently, from what you heard. Would you all be arriving as a pack, or would you all kind of filter in individually?
Good question.
Young shift. I'll speak for it. Not known for being the most on time. So if this is something that he needs to be on time for, he might be relying on others to keep him on track, I think.
And oppositely, Viola would probably be early to this and wanting to be as near the current as possible.
If I can, if it works for Young Shift, I feel like Kariko is the type that's obsessing over stuff to the point where she would probably like purposely set your watch like 10 to 20 minutes later than what it actually is to make sure you show up on time.
I'll allow it.
Martin?
Martin's sort of the new addition to the pack here, so he's kind of floating on his own. He hasn't really found anyone to kind of latch on to yet. Still, he's definitely not meshing very well with the two Aruns, but he's working on it. But other than that, he'd probably arrive on his own and keep an eye out for Villa would be there first, right? Villa?
Viola. Yeah.
Villa. Okay. So he'd probably be looking he'd spot Viola and he'd probably wander over to her and just kind of sidle up like, hey, how's it going?
Viola would be like in the middle of a meditation, sitting in front of the caern.
He wouldn't disturb her then. He would just kind of stand there and just kind of wait for her to finish doing her thing.
While
I
she's finishing
sense
doing her
you.
things, we still have Millie to bring in.
What time of day is it, Storyteller?
You would have been requested to show up at sunset.
Okay, so Millie would have probably just been finishing out of work, so she's probably going to hop on her bike and take a leisurely little ride around the seawall to get herself to Stanley Park.
Okay.
And you know, she grabs some things from work because she knows she's going to need them, some tree seeds and other things like that. So she's got her gear in her backpack and she's blissfully unaware, just riding like the wind to get to Stanley Park.
Violet, sorry I interrupted there mildly.
Okay. As she's meditating, she just kind of breathes in deeply and says, Martin, I sense you near. Step forward.
Martin, he does so. Are you sure you're not just smelling work? He's Martin's been out working in one of the forests north of town, and so he's probably still covered in tree sap and pine needles.
There are more senses than just smell. Your aura is quite detectable.
I am glad that you're here, and I mean, I have no idea what's going on with, I mean, the caern, Storyteller, the caern looks fine, right? Like to the physical senses.
No.
Oh, okay.
The cairn, it's got a few like uprooted trees, and there's a patch of ground that is just to the south of where you would all know that the main cairn is. That it looks like it's been kind of what's the best term I could probably use to describe this? Kind of like churned earth type thing. Like looks like somebody has been kind of
like there's heavy equipment in the area.
Yeah, but that is one of those things where it's like that should not look like that for the cairn at all. But Villa probably like found a patch that was like near or to the cairn that was like kind of greenish. Violet, sorry.
Oh, someone's been here, and I didn't see any construction permits posted. I think we are in a bit of trouble here.
It does seem so. The situation is quite dire.
And I'm probably going to be looking around for anyone in higher authority that might be lingering around. I don't know how many other packs are here.
There's a few other, like, there's a fair number of Geru that are there. This is from the other times that you've all been at the cairn itself. this seems really weird. Like there's the upturned earth, and it looks like, I wouldn't say it's like a parking lot sized of upturned earth, but it is like, it's massive. It's easily like 5 or 6 people across if they laid down kind of end to end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at that point that Millie and Young Shift and Kurikwa probably would show up.
And I'd be like, I'd wave him. Martin would actually wave just to get their attention.
Violet
We-
would also sense their presences, but she would not turn away from the caern.
Look,
sorry,
it's
go ahead.
fresh. Hey, fresh.
Hi, Young. Kurikwa, Millie. Does anyone know what happened here? I mean, I haven't
No.
seen anything on the news.
I don't know, man. I woke up like half hour ago, so I'm here now. Y'all here ahead of me. So what the hell happened here?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
All right. Is this gonna take long? Cause I don't know.
Yeah,
And that Karak was just going to like nudge him, just like, shut the fuck up.
What? Stop.
yeah. I think Martin's gonna start actively looking for someone in charge now. It'd probably break off from the pack and, or no, he wouldn't. No, he'd stick with the pack, but he'd definitely be more actively scanning the crowd.
There's a few heart wardens that are kind of milling about nearby, kind of like, not necessarily like the highest of the caern, like in the kind of
Mm-hmm.
leadership of the caern itself, but there's like they'd be kind of mid-level on that particular ladder. You recognize one, that is Rainer.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note.
He kind of leads a pack that is mostly Heart Warden.
Okay, but that pack, they're the ones mostly in charge of the cairn's general
Yeah.
well-being. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to break off yet, but I will be keeping an eye out for them. If they seem to start getting busy, I might go join them. But for now, I'm going to hang with the pack.
All right. So there's a couple minutes of, there seems to be more Geru that are showing up that are, they're kind of filtering in here and there. Like some of them are coming in from the north. Like you can definitely tell that they had just come across like the Lions Gate Bridge. They, there's a few packs that you know of that are up in that area. It seems like it's like the Great Cairn in Stanley Park, canonically, is one of the only level 6 cairns that are known to exist in the Geru Nation. And it has been viciously defended from anything that would like modernize that particular area, because it's a patch of green that is in the very, very center of downtown Vancouver. And it seems like to all of you that there are way more Geru here than what would traditionally have be anybody who's associated with this particular cairn. It seems like at least the province itself, if not beyond, has like there is like a fairly huge number of Geru that are coming in for this.
I think Millie would look around and try at least to take a photo without any on her phone, without any other Geru in it, realizing that that's not going to be really possible. She kind of quietly like just takes a few steps back because she knows how some of the other Geru feel about, about the Weaver. And she kind of turns around, just types on her phone to one of her coworkers, says, "What the hell happened in Stanley Park today?" Sends a text message and then really, really quickly, like stores her phone back in her bag so that nobody really, well, anybody who does catch her doesn't think that she is being disrespectful.
This particular coworker, are they Geru like you, or are they just human?
They're just human, but they know, like, they're one of her buddies from, like, basically from the ecological garden. And so if she says, "What the hell happened in Stanley Park?" it's one of those things where they're, like, obviously going to be, like, looking online right away because this is their thing. This is an important part of their work.
A few minutes later, you get a text back with a bunch of question marks, like, and a couple screenshots of, like, you can tell it's like a Google, like, Ask Jeeves or whatever search that's like, screenshots of Stanley Park news, the news section, and there doesn't seem to be anything mentioned.
She sends back a message saying parts of it are all dug up and something's wrong. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Also, thank you, Chat GPT, and then like angry face, and then just puts away her phone.
You get another buzz a couple minutes later, but we'll deal with that in just a few seconds. Karakwa, how are you reacting to everything that's going on?
Haruka isn't good at emoting. She has two modes, more so pissed and angry and neutral. If you're lucky, you might see her be happy, but right now it's more so leaning on to pissed right now. She's just standing there digging her freaking boots into the dirt, just like she is like an environmentalist. Seeing like the K, I'm not going to pronounce it right. Seeing this area like this, it is really like messing with her, like on a very like personal note. Like she almost feels like she fucked up and like this is like her fault, even though like reasonably it isn't.
There's some milling about. Like it seems to be like the kind of white noise of that many people that are around. It seems to be picking up a little bit. Young, how are you reacting to all this?
Right now he's trying to play it cool. Like that's the thing he does, but he has his eye on everyone who's here who he doesn't know, the like as he's seeing this kind of like weird like unsuspecting event unfold. He's kind of got like his hands in his pockets, his big uh puffy coat that he wears all year round, shoulders kind of hunched up, just has his eye out for everyone, but he's playing it cool otherwise.
And as you're all kind of taking in the environment and taking in what's going on, you can hear everyone, listen up. And it's a Geru that none of you really recognize. It's someone who they have brown hair. It's kind of tied back in a ponytail. Their shirt is a little bit like it. It almost kind of looks like a singe, but it looks like it's like just got a bit of a tear along the one seam. Everyone, listen. The caern elder will now speak. And I think all of you have had a little bit of experience with this particular cairn, and you know that the leader of the cairn up until recently was a Get of Fenris member by the name of Magni. But some point he left. And then the Heart Warden Seamus, who was Magni's 2IC, took over. And Seamus walks forward. He's got kind of a not presence in a vampire sense, more of a presence in a 5 charisma type sense. And he's an older fellow. He's got kind of like, he's got red curly hair, and he's got like the beard that has like the little patches of red still in it. But he's probably the best way to kind of describe him would be like one of the people who you can't quite pin how old he is. Like he could be anywhere from like a really ragged looking, late 30s to a really, really good looking early 70s. Like just one of those, like there's a scale. You can't quite pin down like where he particularly fits in that scale. And he's like, as you all know, Magni left us after we were attacked. We were attacked by agents of the worm here at this cairn. I need all of you to step up defense. There was only a handful of us here at the time. And they threw everything they could at us. There was Fomori, Black Spiral Dancers, Thunderworms. I'm going to be relying on each and every one of you to help us rebuild and to prevent this from happening again. And those of you who have had experience with Seamus, he seems, if you had to put a number on it, it would seem like Horeno is taking hold. And he kind of just abruptly cuts off that particular speech and goes off. And Raynor stands up. He's like, we will please everyone stay around in the area. We'll have discussions with all of you, and we will have rights. We will have a celebration that we are still here. Thank you.
Martin is actually going to call out above the crowd. Who is responsible for this?
We're not entirely sure. Agents of the Worm. Thank you. We'll be around to everyone soon.
Martin kind of mutters. Sounds like they don't know their elbow from their asshole right now.
This is
Sounds
fucking
like some
bullshit.
bullshit.
I
Dare.
want to know which fuckers did this.
Who would dare defile?
So what are we supposed to just hold on to our asses and wait for some shit to happen to us? Or are we gonna go and find out?
Well, if we were a good pack, we would stand around and wait to be told what to do. I would urge us to at least get some information first before we start running off and ripping heads off necks.
All right, Fresh.
I mean,
If you
agents
say
of the
so.
worm, that can mean anything, really. Agents of the
Yeah.
worm. It's hell. It's probably some stupid fucking city workers that decided that they needed to build something here, and then some city planning guy decided to change their effing mind.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me anything, so
Millie, can you I mean, if it's public record, can't you? I mean, you can go and look through like city hall records and shit, can't you?
yeah, not here.
Well,
Not here.
well, I know not here, but I mean,
Yeah, I'll do it, but not here. Like, I mean, I will. I just asked my guy, my friend at work,
Mhm.
and he has no idea. Like, and I did that quickly. You know what? Once we get out of here, we'll sit down at a pub, and I'll start looking shit up. Right?
All right.
Sound good?
That works for me.
No.
Storyteller. Oh, you go ahead.
How are you all so fucking calm about this shit?
Who said
It is
anything about being calm?
imperative. It's imperative to keep up level.
Are you going to fucking lecture me on how I should fucking feel right now?
Your anger right now has no target.
It does have a fucking target. I'm going to spike some fucking trees and make sure it fucking kills someone.
We need to make sure that at least the right people are dying for this, though. If we're going to be spilling blood, it needs to be the right people.
We need
So
to make sure we're not doing more damage than good.
To what? Some fucking worker that's going to come in here and destroy this shit for a fucking paycheck?
well,
Don't you know
no,
that's who it
it's
was?
but
We
and
don't know.
if it was them, it's their boss and their boss's boss. The worker is just doing what he's
Is
told.
fucking complicit.
He is
Is
part of the.
fucking complicit.
Oh, I agree with you. He is part of the problem, but the
It
solution.
doesn't sound like you agree with me right now.
I agree with you that the persons responsible for this need to die, but the workers may or may not have known what was actually going on.
You think they give a shit? Do you ever look at fucking political literacy in this fucking country, or any country for that matter?
Alright,
Do you think
here
they
we
actively give
go.
a shit? Don't
Oh my
fucking
God.
complain.
I have to burn down sections of the forest every spring. Do you think I like doing that?
Yeah, because you kind of look like a fucking poser. Yeah, so yeah.
It's part
Yeah.
of my job. If you don't burn down old shit,
Look,
it's a fire hazard.
Balance.
Stop.
All of us. We are in need of it.
stop. We don't know what happened. I'm only saying this because, City Hall's getting more and more corrupt. And I wouldn't put it past them to, throw some instructions at the park board, and the park board, doing something that we don't want them to do. But I don't have any proof yet. And I'm not about to pull out my computer right here and piss everybody else off, because I already do enough of that as it is.
So
All right, so so what? We're gonna ask these cats what happened, and then we're gonna go shake some cats down to ask them what they fucking know. We're gonna go all the way to the goddamn top, knock some heads.
if
Tell me
possible.
tell me where I'm wrong, because like I'm ready to go right now. I'm good to go.
I mean,
Be information first, and I look at Karakwa, and then we start spilling blood.
Don't fucking patronize me.
Storyteller.
That's
So
me.
I've got I have a level 2 spirit pact.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have no direct way to communicate with said spirit. So with us being here at the cairn,
You're getting a feeling from your spirit.
mhm.
It's kind of it's a mixture. There's like two different things that you're feeling from the spirit. One is kind of like relief, kind of like at peace, and the other one is a deep anxiety. So you're basically experiencing kind of both ends of that particular spectrum of feeling.
Gotcha. And for reference, my spirit is a level 2 blue heron. So they're all over the place out there, I guess. So
Well, we actually have. Here's a fun fact for everybody playing the home game. There is actually a heron thing here in Stanley Park on the south end. They go there fairly regularly. So yeah, you're.
and I do I'll take time to share that. So I do know that the spirits feel better now that someone's actually doing something. They're still worried, but at least there's boots on the ground and we're going to be doing something and they're going to help us.
All right.
And I think since I've got the common tribal connection with Rainer, I think I would probably like be the one to take the group over if he's not going to approach us directly.
As you're walking over, you are kind of intercepted by a tall man that is like kind of grayish hair. You recognize them as not like super high up, but definitely on the higher end of the hierarchy of the cairn, and it is Dakin, who is a Gale Stalker. We
Well, Dakin,
we need your help.
and I look to the rest of the pack. That's why we're here. That's why all of us are here.
Very specifically.
A word? Because from the
Really?
looks of it, this was a meeting that could have been an email, as it were.
I don't like email.
Millie snickers.
Figure of speech, man.
Too many pattern spiders.
Millie raises an
freely.
eyebrow.
And Dakin goes over to Vila. Child,
Yes.
you are with this pack.
Yes.
Excellent. I've foreseen that you will be needed.
Seems Seems we are all needed.
More specifically, if you are not there with your pack, we could fall.
And count me in on doing my absolute best to help protect.
Who amongst you are the Aruns? Excellent. And walks up and holds his hand out, and in his hand is a like a talon. It's looks like it's a silver knife. It is a clave.
Yo. The fuck? Alright.
One of you will need this.
Hey, yo, homegirl, I think that's you.
Is there something humorous about this?
Nah. I'm just a guy, you know? Hit it up. I ain't on that like ninja predator shit, you know? Although, I like the outfits.
What on earth are you talking about?
Take the knife. Damn, why is always gotta be some shit with you?
Kariko's just going to like look at him like she's confused, utterly confused. Any sort of pop culture is just up and over her head. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's going to like extend her hands out, like because she is receiving a gift. She is respectful in spite of being crass.
Dakin puts it in your hand and wraps your other hand around and leans in and whispers, "Squirrel." And he nods and lets go.
Would I understand that? Am I
Uh,
Doug from the movie Up? Is this what's
give me-
going on?
In that case, he would be Doug from the movie Up. So give me an intelligence and occult roll. Do you have any specialties in occult?
Oh,
Or do you even have occult? Let's
no, absolutely not.
then just give me a straight up intelligence roll.
I am
And-
forgetting that I cannot rouse in this fucking game.
You cannot. Werewolf is designed
Ah.
specifically to do damage. So in your war
Ah.
form, you get 4 extra dice, but you can't really,
I get 2 successes.
You have no idea.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Can I take a guess at it?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
But you didn't, I don't, were you listening specifically to what he was saying? Because he just leaned
Probably
in.
not.
Yeah.
Probably not. No. Nope.
And then he puts his hand on Karakwa's shoulder and he nods. And then he lets go of the clave.
Just gonna go ahead and inspect the knife. This is, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but this is religious for me. I got a weapon.
It is approximately 2 feet long. Give or take about 6 inches of which is a leather wrapped handle. Like it is like really, really tight and interwoven leather. And there are kind of markings along the blade itself.
I know what the answer is going to be, but do I recognize any of the markings?
You do actually. Most prominently, like there's a couple kind of notations, but the most prominent marking on it is the Black Fury tribe symbol.
I'm just like looking at this, like, and like I'm holding it like really close to me. I'm like looking between him and like back towards this blade, just like
It,
this is my
like,
fucking prophecy.
now that you're like kind of manipulating it with your hand and holding it and kind of weighing it out, it seems like perfectly balanced. Like if you put your finger in between, it would just balance no problem. And you're getting a feeling kind of overwhelming you. Not overwhelming as you're gonna fall down or anything, but it's just like there's this feeling of like serenity.
I'm going to like, for like the first time this night, Haruka actually appears to be calm. She appears to be like calm. She's just like looking at this, like, and it is for her just great importance. It's religious, and she can't even describe it to people. But like, she like looks towards him, just like, "Are you sure? You're trusting me with this?
And
Are you positive?"
as are you saying that, or are you just
No,
thinking it?
it's just it's just I have the look of "Are you certain?" on my face, just like I'm looking towards a teacher, just like.
And he leans in again. Yes.
I'm just gonna nod, and I'm just gonna like still hold it rather gently because now this is my birthright. However, I am going to keep in mind that I like once I get away from my nice little pack, I am going to go back to my not werewolf tribe, my human people tribe, and talk to my clan mother.
Before you go there, um, for everyone else, like as you're seeing this take place and seeing the serenity that comes over Karekwa, you he turns to the rest of you and goes, "She will need you now more than ever."
I'm sorry, who?
And he reaches back and he puts his hand on Karekwa's other shoulder. She will need you now more than ever.
I
He'll
mean,
be her support.
yeah, sure.
I think you're muted.
I'm not saying anything. It's just
Oh.
Haruka just has the look
Oh.
of confusion, like what?
Especially
Congratulations.
you. And he points over towards Millie.
I'm sorry.
You
With respect.
You will weave the pack together.
Gosh, can you try being a little less cryptic? It's been a really long day. Just a little.
I don't think it's happening.
All right.
Where you
I
are going,
apologize. I apologize.
where you are going, there will be a lot of Weaver.
Oh, I get to go somewhere where everybody doesn't hate me. Is that it?
I don't hate you, child. Unlike other Geru, I recognize that the walkers of glass are needed. This is a dangerous time that we exist in.
You know we love Gaia as much as the rest of you do. We just show it differently. I care
know.
about it as much as about I care as much about this park as you do.
I know. And you do excellent work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He nods. As do you, and he reaches over towards Martin. Your work is necessary for balance.
I'm learning. We're all learning together. But we're going to get through this. And I look over to Karakwa.
Karku's just going to squint over at you. He's just like, shit or get off the toilet. Are you going to say something?
He won't.
And he
Smart.
looks over to Young. She will need your backup.
I mean, she Ben have it. Yeah, of course.
There will be choices. Not all of them good.
Shit. That's I too.
And he looks over to Villa. Guide them, child.
She'll guide.
We need you all to go to a place that has worm in it. There is a contact there. One of the Raven Shifters. The place that you are going to is known as the Dark Star. And at that point, we're going to take a bit of a break.
Oh, you.
Talk is cheap, motherfuckers.
So come on back in about 7 minutes, everybody, and we'll see what happens when the vampires meet up with the werewolves.
Oh,
We're
God.
pulling up. We're pulling.
I'm kidding.
That's
They're
a vampire
probably
joke.
not going to
That's a
meet the
vampire joke?
vampires.
I gotta get that thing.
I want to see
No.
Steve play Sophia.
I really should have spent my experience points a little bit differently, I think.
So come on back in about
Please.
7 minutes, everybody. We will see you on the other side. And welcome back, everybody. We are headed over to the Dark Star, which is something that I didn't think I was actually going to be saying in this particular mini-series. But here we are. So, you come up on the Dark Star. You're still on the outside. I'm going to get Joanna to describe what the Dark Star looks like on the outside. Joanna, take it away.
On the outside, it's a relatively old building. It's one of the older buildings in Vancouver in the financial district, down by the waterfront. And the Dark Star is actually in the basement of that very, very old building. And you would never assume that there was that much cavernous space beneath that building. But here we are.
And a question that I've yet to ask as a storyteller, I'm assuming that this is kind of a homage to the Red Room, which is in downtown Vancouver. Ish.
Mostly,
Okay.
kind of, sort of.
Well, just sort of so I can, storyteller wise, have the layout in my head, and it's kind of like there's a door there, but Vancouver's very hilly, so it's technically basement, but it's not really.
Yeah, mostly. So the Dark Star is basically like, from what you can see when you walk in, it's 2 levels. So your like main like dance and gathering space is actually 1 level down. Where you enter in is where your coat check is and things like that. And then there's like doors off to the side to go into like the balconied VIP area, but you're going down even further down and to get into the club itself.
All right. So how are you all getting to the Dark Star? There's another question that I should be asking. Because the Dark Star basically is, I would roughly say it's within walking distance.
Yeah. That bad.
Millie is going to be kind of requesting that the group go by her apartment building in the West End, because she's like the little studio apartment that she has, just because she wants to park her bike and put it away. But that'll take like 2 seconds.
So
on the way, kind of.
Martin would have brought his work truck to the meetup at the cairn. So anyone needing anything dropped off anywhere, that's easily done if it's not a convenient hop, skip, and a jump over.
Is there space enough for 5 werewolves in the work truck?
No.
Silo would not get into a work truck.
Tarqua is
truck,
Tarqua
matter.
is just opposed to automobiles. She thinks that they are death trap. Not just the Teslas, like all of them.
Very logical, Karqua. Very logical.
I mean, I ain't trying to walk there, so yo, make room.
Well, it would be a crew cab pickup, so you could it would be enough for 4, including the driver, not all 5.
Right.
Well, that's fine, because so Millie can probably meet you guys there. She'll drop off her bike and like, cab it or something like that, or take the bus over to the Dark Star.
So let's do a quick fast forward to everybody kind of waiting for the walking people to make it to the Dark Star. So everybody's... Go ahead.
I say it'd be Martin and Young. They're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does the actual like front of the building look like? Like, is it pretty nondescript? Is there signage for the bar?
I don't know if we ever fully talked about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like red brickish, like older building in that kind of area.
So I don't think we would have posted up like right outside. We'd be like maybe a block or 2 away to where we'd still have line of sight on the place, but
just watching all the vampires go in and out of the... That's a vampire. That's a vampire. There's a vampire
That's
over
a
there.
Toreador. Vampire specifically.
Yuck.
I think Martin and Young Shift here would definitely be scoping the place out from a distance, just seeing what sort of activity is popping off this time of night.
Also, I know this was not at all planned, but Martin and Young sounds like a great name for a
Yes,
band.
it does.
Buddy cop movie. Martin
it sounds
and Young.
like It sounds like a yacht
Starring
rock
Kevin Hart.
band.
Starring Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock
Yeah.
Johnson.
Johnson,
We're a
yes,
law
of
firm.
course.
We're
Yeah.
we're a law firm.
Yeah.
Martin and Young.
Young.
Martin-
Yeah.
Martin and Young.
Martin and
Oh my
Young.
god.
Martin just made partner, but it sounds right with his name first, you know.
It flows better.
In
It'd
which
be
case,
Younge.
since you're scoping out the place, give me a wits and awareness. Don't forget to substitute the rage dice,
Mm-hmm.
of which you're all at rage 1.
What are we rolling again?
Wits
Just
and awareness.
just
That
Young
old
and Young and Martin,
chestnut.
Martin and Young.
Oh, God. Okay.
Or
Just the lawyers at law LLC or whatever.
it'd be
Hmm.
LLP for limited liability partnership. That was pre-law. I'm sorry.
As they're doing that, as Viola and Karakwa are walking along, Viola would look over at Karakwa. So, how are you feeling with your newly endowed right?
I feel like I'm undeserving of it.
Why would that be? Strong, you are capable.
That doesn't matter, honey.
The
I
world
feel
has
like
a
others are
strange
more
way.
deserving of this.
The world has a strange way of showing us what we are true.
I just can't help but shake the feeling that I didn't get this for anything good I did. This is a burden that I have, but it's not an award that I was given because of any merit.
You are too harsh on yourself. We all have a part to play in this. Not all of us feel we are up to the task, but be if we didn't try.
It just doesn't feel right.
Right or wrong, it doesn't matter now. The only thing that matters is that you know that we find you.
I appreciate that. And like she like gently like tries to pat Viola on the shoulder, but it's just like I don't know how to express or emote or really even be mostly nice and gentle. So this is a very bad attempt at such.
It's a bit of a hard slap.
Thank you, dear. The spirits, they'll show us what to do. They'll show you what to do. Fret not.
Martin and Young, how did that roll go?
I got 4.
Young?
1, 2, 3, 4 as well.
So you're kind of scoping out the area, and you kind of... There's a lot off about what's going on at this club. Like there are people that are walking in and out that you can't quite put your finger on it, but they just don't seem right. Like at some point, you have no idea why, for like what seems to be a goth club, that somebody would walk in with somebody else in tow that has a large plastic bag of like just random shit. It looks like everything's crammed in there. Like, why would they need that in a goth club? Who knows? And that's pretty
mean,
much when everybody else would come up.
What the fuck is this place, man?
I mean, it's a it's a goth club, I think. But I mean, this is kind of a weird thread to start pulling here to figure out what happened back at the park.
I mean, I don't know.
Check
mean,
I
do you-
can make. Sorry. Is
Oh,
there a check I can make to be able to know like what the vibe is with this place?
What gifts do you have?
Have umbral senses and sight from beyond.
Ooh, sight from beyond sounds like something that could be useful. That is a Gale Stalker, I believe. Or is it Theurge? I think it's Theurge. What is the roll for that one?
Intelligence and wisdom.
I think that's Theurge. Let me just flip over to it. Talk amongst yourselves. One of the best werewolf movies is Dog Soldiers. Go.
You are not wrong. It's one of the best pieces of werewolf media ever made.
Sight from beyond. There it is.
Sight from beyond is intelligence.
Intelligence plus wisdom.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
And it is cost of 1 willpower.
Okay.
And I just realized that I closed that without actually. There it is. Fortunately, they include these little tag thingers in all of the books nowadays, and I put that in there. Ooh. Okay.
3 successes.
3 successes. So, much like getting a prophecy in Vampire, this is kind of invokes that for umbral senses, but it's more connected to the Umbra. So, Villa closes her eyes, and there's a kind of a almost like a haze that comes over your eyes, like your face turns blue-ish. No one can see this, but you're just feeling that in your senses. You reach out and you can see your pack. Your pack, when each member of your pack kind of turns their head towards you in this vision, you can see kind of like a spiritual overlay of their faces in what their actual wolf forms look like. You can see that there's a kind of a metal kind of twisted weave thing that 2 of them are sitting in, but yourself and Karakwa are walking up to. Millie is also coming close to where you all are. And your senses kind of project outwards to the Dark Star, and there is. It almost makes your skin crawl that there's like just a sense of decay and a sense of but it's mixed together with like that same kind of metal weaving. It's almost like everything in there is set in its ways, doesn't want to change. And you can, there's a flash of green that kind of goes across your face. And you're getting a feeling of flying. And there's a sense of one of your pack may fall. You're not sure who, but there's a red flame that envelops a wolf. The wolf isn't burning, but it just isn't. It's kind of surrounding the wolf, kind of like a spiritual flame that is surrounding the wolf. And you can't, as you reach out to try to figure out which wolf it is, because the wolf has its back turned to you, that is when you wake up.
There's great danger here. Every single one of you. Stay aware. No mere mortal goth club, as you called it. There is death and decay.
Millie pipes up.
Vampires.
I mean, it is a goth club. Death and decay. Goth club?
No mere mortal goth club.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Just don't mind me. I appreciate you. I appreciate that you.
Stay aware. Stay on guard.
Saying that creatures of the worm are in here?
I mean, unless creatures of the worm are buying weird plastic bags of fabric, I don't know what the fuck is happening in there, man.
No, we've been sitting here for a minute. Things even in the normal world are sketchy about this place. And Violet, if you're sensing the worm here, it stands to reason this is probably a vampire nest.
Well, what do you want to do? Report back or go step on some fucking worms?
We're told to search for
Something about
Let's-
Raven? Something about shapeshifters?
Oh, the Korax. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah,
of those in Vancouver.
Yeah, we've there's someone here that we're supposed to meet. Let's meet with them first and then figure out if we need to start killing.
All right.
It's at that
There you
point
go, fresh.
on the roof of the truck, you hear like a thud.
I say we all would have been out of, or Young and I would have been out of the
Yeah,
truck
for
at that
sure.
point in time.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Yeah, you just like hear a
Just
thud
turn
on the
back
roof of
around.
the truck.
Oh. What just landed on my truck?
Seems like a little snail.
All right, I go over.
I look up to see where it fell from, and I do have that thing on me, as it were.
I have no idea what
Millie-
you mean.
Millie reaches into her
I'll type it
backpack
in the
because
chat.
it's Vancouver, so she pulls out an umbrella and goes, just in case.
It's raining snails.
Hallelujah.
Just in case.
I don't don't think the Weather Girls had this entirely in mind when they wrote that
No.
song.
So just a normal snail shell then.
Seems like it.
Okay. And I also look up.
When you look up, there is a raven that is on one of the poles, like the hydro poles.
Here we go.
All right, which one of y'all can talk to birds and shit? 'Cause I sure as fuck cannot.
Well, if they're our contact, I think we just need to go someplace where they can change back and we can be private.
All right, there's got to be an alleyway around here.
There certainly is.
I look up to the raven and simply say, "Lead and we shall follow."
I'm just gonna look up and just stare at it, just like nevermore. Yes, Cardquist humor does
There's
exist
a-
at times.
There's a
Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah.
there's a squawk from the raven that almost sounds like "fuck off."
Almost.
Almost. Fuck off. And it flies down a nearby alleyway.
I follow.
I'm going to follow too, but I'm just pacing myself just because I don't like the area. The area's scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of vampires here.
There's a lot of vampires here. There's a lot of worm here. I hunt down people from Pentix.
Millie puts her umbrella away back into her backpack and just kind of skitters on with the group.
Young and Villa.
Yeah, following along.
Follow.
As you all kind of go down this particular alleyway, out from behind one of the dumpsters that's there walks a female presenting person who she's got short black hair that almost looks like it's kind of feathery, and she looks like kind of the description of Seamus, where it's like she could be early 30s or she could be 65. You're not quite sure.
Why does this keep happening with me?
Because shape changers.
We age differently.
And for everybody who's familiar with Vancouver by night, this looks exactly like I can't remember her name at the moment. My brain just shut off. But it's a familiar bartender, Maxine.
Ah!
And she sounds like she's smoked about 1 billion cigarettes. So, I just happen to have something here for that. Talk amongst yourselves. The second best werewolf thing of anything is, let's just say, Silver Bullet. That sounds right.
You're forgetting ginger snaps, yo.
Can't go, Ken.
Silver Bullet, phenomenal, good film, as I recall, but the book it's based on, Cycle of the Werewolf, an illustrated book, unreal, so good. Each chapter is a month of the year, on the full moon. Let's go.
Nice.
Come on, let's talk. You know,
All right.
Nice.
So,
yeah. And I don't remember the artist, but as I recall, reading it as a kid when I should not have, phenomenal art.
So yeah, that person walks out from behind the dumpster like, fuck, took you guys long enough to get here.
Smoking's bad for you.
Fuck off.
So
What can we do for you?
That's what you can do for me.
That's
Uh,
what she said. Yo,
yeah.
let's get this going.
So,
Are we gonna smash some heads or what?
yeah, Dakin said that you'd be showing up sooner or later.
Here we are.
Sooner
So you
rather than later.
guys are it then? That's it?
Yeah.
Aren't we enough?
Probably not.
We have
Well,
a destiny.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Or what?
All right. So, I don't know if you guys are all familiar with Pentax.
Unfortunately.
They're
I'm not.
behind. Pentax is basically a worm corporation.
Word. Yeah, fuck Pentax.
Millie turns to Karakwa because Millie's only been doing this for 2 years or so. She's like, "Is that one that you had me hack into last month?"
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
They've been getting a little shifty in their practices lately. They're starting
More
to
than usual.
play the shell game bullshit. As opposed to having big buildings with like Pentax on the front, they've decided that discretion is the better part of valor. So now it's all numbered corporations and horseshit.
So is that who tore up Stanley Park?
Not them specifically, but they had a part in it.
Okay,
Could be.
so we're gonna go. Are we just meeting you here, or are we starting to knock out chairs from under people starting here at this vampire bar?
No, the vampire bar doesn't have anything to do with it, as far as I know.
What the fuck are we even doing here then?
Well, I'm keeping an eye on the vampire bar in case they decide to do any bullshit like Pentax.
Wouldn't it be easier to just burn them while they're in there? They don't like fire as much as the next person.
These ones actually, weirdly enough, seem to be on the up and up.
The
Okay.
fuck?
There is such a thing for that?
Let's be serious.
Nah, that sounds
That's a
stupid,
joke.
man. Nah.
Hey, I do what I do, and I keep an eye on shit. And surprisingly, these vampires are fucking leeches, whatever the hell you want to call them. They're keeping to themselves.
So we're just meeting you here just because it's convenient for you. Gotcha. All right, so
And that's a gold star for whatever your name is.
Martin.
Sure.
But yeah. So where do we need to start? You've given us Pentex. Where do we actually start kicking indoors?
Well, it's probably going to require a little bit of recon first.
That's why we're here.
Like the digital kind of recon, the kind that I can do?
Whatever kind of recon you feel like doing. I don't know, you could go in the sewers and stick a periscope up their ass for all I care.
Graphic. Okay, cool.
But there's a building that recently changed hands. It's used to be Alexander Industries.
We blew that building up.
Not in this dimension, you didn't.
Ah.
Now it's under, I don't know. I think there might be some leeches there. Who the fuck knows?
So they're Alexander Industries. They are a confirmed Pentex front. Is that what you're telling us?
They've had dealings with Pentex. That'd be the best bet for finding more information.
Okay.
And who owns Alexander Industries? Do we know?
Fuck if I know.
I think that's
All
where
right.
you come in, Millie.
Yep. Yep. I know my place. On it. Millie is making mental notes.
So how do we check, or do we check back in with you? Do we check back in with Dakin? Who do we report back to? What's the play here?
Probably Dakin. I don't know. Y'all smell like
Okay.
wet dog to me, honestly.
Haha.
Well, at least you can smell us over the worm taint still. That's a good thing.
Surprised I can smell anything less. How much smoking I do.
Well, that's
You
your
know,
own
it's
fault.
funny. You're talking about wanting our help to take down this big corporation, but you're smoking cigarettes, which are produced by a big corporation, that are killing your fucking lungs.
Yep, probably.
Not fucking probably. It's been fucking proven since the 50s.
I don't know.
Millie
Healing-
just turns to Paraquat, just don't bother. Not worth it. Don't bother. Need your energy elsewhere.
We need to get you pointed at the right people here right quick. All right. So I guess we have our marching orders. There's nothing else important that you feel the need to impart upon us?
Not really. I'm just going to keep an eye on the leeches across the street.
All right.
Weirdest
Hey, yo,
combination.
if anything comes up with them, holla at us, all right? Because I don't like that shit around here. We just let that shit happen, and then we're wondering why, worms come through and wreck our shit because we let them exist.
Sometimes you gotta pick battles, I suppose. And this is a weird bunch. There's like one of the ugly ones, and then there's one of the pretty ones. There's a bunch of the pretty ones and one ugly one. It's fucking weird.
I don't
I don't
care
know what's
how
going
ugly
on.
or pretty it is. A worm is a worm.
Homeless people start disappearing. You let us know, and we're gonna fix it.
So far, I think they only killing their own.
That's why we're letting them live. Gotcha.
That's different.
Sometimes the problem takes care of itself.
Balance, as I've said before.
And I nod very firmly at Viola. Agreed.
If they start going too far out of their circle, that's when we can start stepping in.
Sounds good.
If it's worked so far locally, then that's how it's going to stay for now. Then.
Yep.
Shall
All
we?
right. Of course, I think we do need to come up with a game plan before we're not just going to go kick down the door as much as we all want to. We do need to be smart about this.
Well,
We do.
All right.
give me a second.
You sure you
Let's-
guys are
you know what?
wolves?
Our cairn has been desecrated, and every single one of us want to get back at the fuckers who did it. But we've got to keep a steady head on our shoulders, or we're just going to end up exerting our energies in a very inefficient manner, and we need to keep focused.
If you're going to talk
Irene.
about me, you can just say my fucking name.
Never bothered
I-
learning your fucking name.
Not you.
I turn away from the Korax and I look at Caraqua. Look, we need to do this the right way. That's all
I
I'm
have not
saying.
said shit since we fucking left. And you're still pointing me out for some fucking reason. Okay.
Now, dears,
Please
save
stop.
that energy.
Please stop. Not here.
It's the
Not in
right
front
tone.
of humans.
Humans, this person talks to birds and shit. Come on now.
No. I mean the humans. Like we're still in the city. There's still guys, just calm
Yeah.
shit.
Aight.
I'm calm. I haven't raised my voice. I haven't punched anyone yet. I think I'm pretty fucking calm right now.
This is actually really good for I have to admit. It's dope. I'll admit as well, it's pretty good for me too. And if we don't find someone to punch soon, well, I'm gonna start acting up. So
We need
All
to
right.
do our due
Uh,
diligence first, everyone.
onward and upward.
Quick question.
Uh,
Caraqua, do you feel that you're kind of embarrassed?
In what sense?
In the sense that if you're embarrassed, you can get an extra point of rage.
Sure. Well, not embarrassed. It's more so just like
Annoyed.
agitated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm at yeah.
Ordinarily, at this particular point in time, you've been a werewolf long enough that you would feel like this is a time where your rage would increase, like you're on edge, you're starting to get, you can almost feel like it's kind of like an adrenaline surge. But you feel that. And where exactly is the clave? Are you holding it in your hand, or
She's holding it, but it's like down by her side.
everybody else sees the Black Fury symbol not light up to be like a super bright light or anything, but it kind of glows a bit. And Karakwa, you would feel like, okay, this is rage 2. I'm like enraged. So it goes up to 2, but then it goes back down as the symbol lit up.
I'm just like going to look down at it, just like hold it up, just like I'm just going to look around for any sort of guidance. What the fuck just happened?
Neat toy.
Can I, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay.
And anyone else, if you want
Energy.
to, intelligence and occult.
5.
Intelligence and occult? Oh, I have those.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm like,
have those.
I'm not the old man. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can do other things.
Oh,
See, in this case, you can have into occult and punch things. I love werewolf. Werewolf's great.
It's
Millie
not.
has 3 successes.
2 successes for me.
Just 2 successes as well.
Villa, how many? 2?
2.
And 2 for Young. Martin, you had 5, I think.
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've heard more for Martin, and you can fill in everybody, and that would kind of like fill in the gaps for them. But you've heard of rumors of different talons that do similar things, but it would appear that this particular clave has not absorbed to dissipate, but absorbed as a battery some of Karaqua's rage.
Interesting. Okay. I see what happened here. I pissed you off, and the clave sucked it up, and it's keeping it held back for later. I'm going to have,
Okay.
I promise you, I'm going to try to keep a more respectful tone with you.
Appreciated.
And I do offer my hand out to Karaqua. If she takes it or not, that's up to her.
Just like hesitantly, she's just gonna like do it. It's just like
Yeah, okay, we're okay, we're
Remember, we are all stronger together than we are apart.
all right, so I think from here, Millie, you can handle the internet stuff. I mean, Viola, I don't know if you could run, so I don't know if you want to maybe go stake the place out
I
with,
will scout.
and Karaqua and Young and I would tag along with you to keep an eye out for you. Millie, you could just, I mean, you could do whatever you need to do wherever.
I can walk and do this at the same time.
Exactly.
I just need you guys to pick a direction. That's all. And I appreciate you guys. I'll do what I need to do to make this scouting easier for all of us.
Well, as far as a direction, Millie, I think you have that newfangled Google thing that can help us out. No?
That is true. But I don't know where Alexander Industries is. And our friend here knows. So, you know,
Maxine.
She just points towards the financial district.
fine,
Right.
fine. Millie is basically like just has her phone. She's just looking at everybody, but she's typing at the same time because this is her jam. She's typing on her phone, and putting in like information and stuff like that. Um, and I'm assuming that she is able to find
Are you
simple
Googling?
Google
Yeah.
ideas.
Ask Jeeves.
Sorry. Ask Jeeves. Okay, I can ask Jeeves. I can ask Jeeves where Alexander Industries is, because I'm assuming it's probably not actually very good information.
It's not hidden at all. Like it pops up with one of those kind of like, the Google search, you Google a company and it's like, okay, it's, the stock price is this up at the top, et cetera, et cetera. It's downtown Vancouver financial district, not too far from where you guys currently are. And it is not doing incredibly well in the stock market, but it seems to be. Give me a intelligence and tech.
Does the hacking specialty count?
Are you hacking currently?
Do I need to be hacking to find this?
No. If you want to, you can.
but guys, she's going to short the stock.
To the moon.
No.
Opposite direction.
That is horrible.
He can
Oh,
Is there
willpower.
any
no.
is there any mechanism in Werewolf to re-roll?
Willpower.
All right, let's do that.
Willpower is
And I'm
still
assuming
effective
it's-
in Werewolf.
Okay, so such a big dice pool. Holy crap.
I've taken statistics.
Okay,
I
much
know
better.
that it's,
5.
It's still a 1
5
to 6
successes.
shot.
5 successes.
5 successes. From the looks of it, the stock seems to be intentionally not doing a massively great thing. Like for every time the stock goes up to a certain point, it seems like it's intentionally dropped down. Like almost as if they're trying not to be too much on anybody's radar.
I'm gonna look at any news articles associated with those dates.
Associated with those dates, if you're
Like for the
yeah,
where when it gets too high and then it just like suddenly drops, like if there's any like what exactly they've been manipulating in order to have that happen. Like did this, did the CEO suddenly say something stupid on Twitter
oh yeah.
or, kind of thing like what happened to make the stock drop kind of
The
thing.
last 3 of them would be the CEO saying something really dumb. And then the second one would be during a like a stock whatever call that the CEO would have said something along the lines of like, "Hey, we're going to buy this not great business." And then the stock kind of tanks. And then the third one was like CEO gets replaced, et cetera, scandal, something. Doesn't really matter what the specific thing is, but it's just like CEO resigns in disgrace. So it's just kind of, it goes up and then down. And then it kind of, there's almost like a natural progression up and then down and then up and then it goes down.
Yeah, okay. I convey this to the group. There's something fucking fishy about this. Especially to, to make a point of saying that they're really, really trying to kind of hide their actual valuation and stuff like that. Like they're trying to purposely fuck shit up so that they don't get noticed. So they are up to some fucked up shit.
But why?
That is a good question. And I'm going to keep digging until I find those answers.
Right?
And I don't know. We might find something in the building too.
Oh, we'll definitely find something in the building. I'm assuming we're
Um,
going to be going into the building, right, gang? Eventually.
do that.
I would
Eventually.
like to, yeah. I
Tonight?
mean, if we're
We could.
wouldn't
If
mind
the
it.
circumstances are right, yes.
All right. Can we maybe kind of take a look and see what's there first? Do we have any security guards and shit like that? I can take care of like cameras and stuff like that. I just want to know what the people factor is
Yeah,
in there.
it's at
Well,
that point, you'd probably all come up on or near the building, like within line of sight.
I mean, like
Eh,
Fresh looks like, I don't know, pretty average or whatever. You could probably get away with snooping around without, batting any eyes.
I have a way with people when I need to.
I could take a look around the back if there's any like alternate entries and shit. How about y'all?
Paraquay, you keep an eye out on Viola while she does her work in the Umbra.
Okay. She's
Oh,
just going to go towards the direction of Viola. She's not.
Hey, yo, Karakwa.
Yes.
I know you're not, right? But like, still, uh, bad at this word. If you have to cut a motherfucker, give him an extra cut from me.
Ark was going to like barehanded just like try and like pat her shoulder as if she's like acknowledging you, but like she does not understand good communication. So she's like, yes, understood. Didn't need to say
I
that, but yes.
I take her hand and turn it into a dap. All right, and I go.
hey, we're gonna get these fuckers, right? Millie's saying to Karakwa. Don't worry, we'll get these fuckers. We'll fuck their shit up. We're in this together.
Viola, what are we doing?
This whole Umbra
That's a good question. Let's see. The Umbra is. Let me just look that up. Talk amongst yourselves. Nope, not that. Umbra. We're all still learning the game, everybody.
Oh yeah.
baby vampire, not vampires, werewolves. Also baby vampires.
We
Both.
are
Puppies.
we
We're
are
puppies.
vampires with fur stapled onto us. So let's not confuse it
Wait,
for a
are we
second.
vampire furries? Is that what we are now?
Yes, we are the gangrel. Yes, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
No.
I mean,
no.
she's not wrong.
She's just out of line.
She's not wrong.
Did anyone happen to take Rite of Shadow Passage?
No.
Hmm.
The Umbra would require a shiny object to get into. And
Quick,
probably
someone
about,
pissed me off.
Probably about 10 minutes.
I mean, considering I'm a new psychic
Yeah, you might
type,
have like a piece of mirror or something.
yeah, for sure.
So we'd all individually have like, you know, medicine bags or satchels or some other stuff where we'd keep all of our ritual gear on us personally at all times.
Yeah.
You would not go anywhere without your werewolf kit.
The Umbra. There we go. Fast and ever changing, blah, blah, blah. Interacting with the Umbra. Entering the Umbra. There we go. See page 182. Well, that's useful. Thanks for that.
Oh, see, yeah, that's where 182 is Rite of Shadow Passage.
Yeah.
Which would be the whole pack going through.
Urban Alley would be 3 or 4. Okay, so it'd be any renown that you would like. Probably the one that I think you have 2 in for the Gale Stalkers, I believe, is Wisdom. And your occult rating.
I have honor at 2.
Oh, honor? Okay, yeah. So it'd be giving yourself the best chance to do it. Probably honor and then occult.
Yeah, it is.
So you're going into the Umbra is what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Terrible roll.
All you need
2
is...
successes and 1 is a 10.
So Wyla just sits down, concentrates. You have like a shiny rock even in your package to try to traverse into the Umbra. And you've all seen this before. She's gone into the Umbra quite a few times. But this particular time is different. She concentrates, and where she would have easily in the past been able to traverse into the Umbra, step sideways, and essentially like become a part of the stone and get kind of spiritually moved into it. Where that would generally happen, you all see kind of a blue electricity spark from the rock and strike Bella. And you take 2 superficial damage, and it's almost like you just get hit with a blast of electricity. And that's where we're going to end this particular session.
Oh no.
You.
So, thank you
Okay.
for watching, everybody. Thank you for any bits or subscriptions you've sent our way. It's okay. You can heal pretty fast.
I'm in danger.
The old Ralph Wiggum. So yeah, thank you for any bits or subscriptions. We're going to do a quick roundtable of everybody. Thank you for watching the first episode of our Werewolf game. And we're going to go in opposite order. And this time, instead of last, you're first, Michaela.
Oh my God. Hi, I am Michaela, otherwise known as Cosmic_Dazai on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr because I'm sad. You can find me here play as Karako, who is an out of touch, emotionally repressed bitch, or as Violetta, who's also a bitch, but hides it behind corporatism. Or you can find me on Total Party Crit, where I also play a bitch. But this time, I'm bimbo and yesified.
Or there's another werewolf game that you're involved in.
Oh yes, I am also. I'm not playing a bitch in that one. That's. I'm also in another game where I'm playing a character that actually isn't a bitch and is nice and just shops at Whole Foods. That's my character. I shop at Whole Foods and I take people's cigarettes out of their mouths.
It's true. And on that note, the Whole Foods segue, let's go over to Patrick. No, I'm kidding. Patrick.
I am the least Whole Foods individual you're going to come across here.
You're a
Hi.
Panera Bread person.
I do appreciate a good Bread Bowl soup. I do. Hi, Patrick Gill, creative director over at Martlet Games. You can find me on the various internet sites and whatnot. We are pivoting hard into digital media production, less so much with the actual plays. Those are still going to be rocking and rolling. Working on a few things in the background. I'm having to do a whole bunch of different things for a whole bunch of different people at any given time. So who knows what's going on? I love everybody, and I thank Steve for letting me join here for my very first game of Werewolf. Thank you.
And Joanna.
I am Joanna, and I was playing Millie James for you. You will find me on the socials as Hyrule Gardener. You will find me playing Vampire for the most part with these lovely people here. And that's about it. Thank you, Steve, for letting us do the awoos.
Awoo.
I'm gonna make you all
Ow.
do that as we like leave the episode. You realize that, don't you? Alan.
Word. Hello, I am Alan. You can find me online here playing Vampire and now playing my very first game of Werewolf. It sounded vampire as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play. Clearly. You can also find me over on Quest Keep on Twitch and YouTube, where I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in a homebrew world called Tarot, as well as some really cool limited series and event games, as well as Second the Besties, where we've made a number of sketches and the things that'll make you laugh. Fingers crossed. Outside of that, you can find me on Instagram at Alan Williams. And I don't know, stay tuned for other shit.
And last but certainly not least, up in the upper left-hand corner, Monica.
Hi, I'm Monica. Monica M_art over on Instagram and Twitter, though mostly on Instagram right now. You can find all my artwork on my Instagram and across various medias, animation, books, board games, TTRPGs, everywhere. But you can also find me as Sophia on Vancouver by Night's New Blood. So if you haven't checked that out, please go check her out because I'm very proud of my baby.
Also, buy Monica's book.
Yes, buy my book, Doña Quixote, Rise of the Night.
It's gorgeous.
And this guy is Storyteller Steve, and I'm back in the Storyteller seat because in the Werewolf game that I'm actually a player in the other one. So, if you want to help support the channel, you can do that with bits and subscriptions here on Twitch. That gives us a bit of Jeff Bezos's money, and I share it with all the folks that are on screen. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can become a member for only $3, which gets us a bit more money. And again, we share it with the folks on screen. Following us on Twitch is free, and subscribing on YouTube is free. Anytime you watch, it helps us out, and we very much appreciate it. Or you could go over to our Patreon. For just $5, you can see episodes early. You could probably see this episode. You're probably watching this episode early right now if you are one of our Patreons. If not, you're watching it with everybody else and hopefully giving us some subscriptions and bits. So, on top of that, if you want to monetarily help us out and help out Trevor Project, you can go to our merch shop and buy stuff like this. And I'm not wearing the Meat C stuff, Michaela. Sorry.
It's a different chronicle. We can forget about Violetta, guys.
No, we can't.
Never.
This time.
Never.
Next time, though.
But yeah, buy a Meat C shower curtain or a Meat C hat or a Meat C t-shirt or Meat C like rug if you really felt like it. It's, you know, there's a whole bunch of options for your Meat C needs. So yeah, help us out there, and we will see you next week. If we're on Twitch, we're gonna find somebody to raid into, and we will see you on the flip side. Have a good night, everybody. Now is when you
Bye.
all howl.
Oh.